So I repeat, I differ from you precisely in that I do nothing. The effort that you give without cessation, I simply abstain from giving. In place of attaching myself to life, I detach myself from it. Everything has become indifferent to me. I have become disinterested in everything. To sleep is to become disinterested. One sleeps to the exact extent to which he becomes disinterested. A mother who sleeps by the side of her child will not stare at the sound of thunder, but the sight of the child will wake her. Does she really sleep in regard to her child? We do not sleep in regard to what continues to awaken us. You ask me what it is that I do when I dream. I will tell you what I do when you are awake. You take me, the me of dreams, me, the totality of your past, and you force me by making me smaller and smaller to fit into the little circle that you trace around your present action. That is what it is to be awake. That is what it is to live the normal psychical life. It is to battle. It is to will. As for the dream, have you really any need that I should explain it? It is the state into which you naturally fall when you let yourself go, when you no longer have the power to concentrate yourself upon a single point, when you have ceased to will. What needs much more to be explained is the marvelous mechanism by which at any moment your will obtains instantly, almost unconsciously, the concentration of all that you have within you upon one and the same point, the point that interests you. But to explain this is the task of normal psychology, of the psychology of waking, for willing and waking are one and the same thing. This is what the dreaming ego would say, and it would tell us a great many other things still if we could let it talk freely. But let us sum up briefly the essential difference which separates a dream from the waking state. In the dream, the same faculties are exercised as during waking, but they are in a state of tension in the one case and of relaxation in the other. The dream consists of the entire mental life minus the tension, the effort, and the bodily movement. We perceive still, we remember still, we reason still. All this can abound in the dream, for abundance in the domain of the mind does not mean effort. What requires an effort is the precision of adjustment. To connect the sound of a barking dog with the memory of a crowd that murmurs and shouts requires no effort. But in order that the sound should be perceived as the barking of a dog, a positive effort must be made. It is this force that the dreamer lacks. It is by that, and by that alone, that he is distinguished from the waking man. From this essential difference can be drawn a great many others. We can come to understand the chief characteristics of the dream, but I can only outline the scheme of this study. It depends especially upon 3 points, which are the incoherence of dreams, the abolition of the sense of duration that often appears to be manifested in dreams, and finally the order in which the memories present themselves to the dreamer, contending for the sensations present when they are to be embodied. The incoherence of the dream seems to me easy enough to explain, as it is characteristic of the dream not to demand a complete adjustment between the memory image and the sensation, but on the contrary, to allow some play between them. Very different memories can suit the same sensation. For example, there may be in the field of vision a green spot with white points. This may be a lawn spangled with white flowers, it may be a billiard table with its balls, it might be a host of other things besides. These different memory images, all capable of utilizing the same sensation, chase after it. Sometimes they attain it, one after the other. And so the lawn becomes a billiard table, and we watch these extraordinary transformations. Often it is at the same time, and altogether that these memory images join the sensation, and then the lawn will be a billiard table. From this come those absurd dreams where an object remains as it is, and at the same time becomes something else. As I have just said, the mind, confronted by these absurd visions, seeks an explanation and often thereby aggravates the incoherence. As for the abolition of the sense of time in many of our dreams, there is another effect of the same cause. In a few seconds, a dream can present to us a series of events which will occupy, in the waking state, entire days. You know the example cited by Monsieur Maury. It has become classic, and although it has been contested of late, I regard it as probable because of the great number of analogous observations that I have found scattered through the literature of dreams. But this precipitation of the images is not at all mysterious. When we are awake, we live in a life common with our fellows. Our attention to this external and social life is the great regulator of the succession of our internal states. It is like the balance wheel of a watch, which moderates and cuts into the regular dreams the undivided, almost instantaneous attention of the spring. It is this balance wheel which is lacking in the dream. Acceleration is no more than abundance, a sign of force in the domain of the mind. It is, I repeat, the precision of adjustment that requires effort, and this is exactly what the dreamer lacks. He is no longer capable of that attention to life which is necessary in order that the inner may be regulated by the outer, and that the internal duration fit exactly into the general duration of things.